Welcome to Empowered. I'm Elizabeth Naumovski. We've all become weight obsessed and live in a world of dieting, miracle weight loss drugs, belly fat, intermittent fasting, menopause, hormones, and food insecurity. It's getting hard to figure out what to do and if it's actually good for you. So to help us get a grip on all of this and inform us better, I'm joined by Annie Gaudreault, founder of VEEV Health and Wellness. She's a nutritionist and women's health coach. Welcome back to Empowered, Annie. It's great to have you back again.
Thank you for having me, Liz.
You've become my resident nutritionist, and I'm liking this part of the show, actually. So let's begin with the elephant in the room, Ozempic. It's a drug to help people with type 1 diabetes, and it has become the new weight loss miracle drug, which has something called semaglutide, and it's all the range. So should women take those?
So this is a proceed with caution answer. And just a little bit of clarification, the drug was developed for diabetes type 2. So this is an insulin resistance type issue. And there's been phenomenal results for people who have excess weight, especially around the high level of obesity. So people that we would call technically morbidly obese lose weight. In fact, people lose up to 16% of their body of weight. So it is significant, Liz. But it does beg a lot of caution.
So I understand your caution, and I understand that you were saying 16% of your body weight, but what are the potential downsides, if it's so effective?
So when we say weight loss, and we look at what that 16% is made of, we have a test that is called the DEXA scan. And that scan basically tells you, where is this weight loss coming from? And what they have discovered is that half of that weight loss is fat. And that's what we want to be addressing as we are overweight. The problem is the other half that is lost is muscle mass. And that is extremely dangerous. And it's a hallmark of dying when we lose muscle mass. The other thing that is also a problem here is the fact that we have no long-term studies. Like, there is so much unknown. And when people come off of these drugs, the weight goes right back up.
Yeah.
And it is so much harder for that individual to be losing weight in a, what I'm going to call, dietary lifestyle approach.
So it's basically a drug for life. It's a lifestyle that you're going to choose if you decide to go that way.
Correct.
So there's so many different topics I want to talk to you about today. Today, I'm going to be ping-ponging all over the place. My next question to you is, what can be frustrating for women is that dreaded belly weight. We all have this issue with, our belly weight. Why is this happening? And why is it so hard to lose?
Yes, in fact, actually, we call it the menopause belly. This is a bit of trifecta, Liz. Number one, what's happening is the estrogen drop that is happening naturally, of course, as a woman goes through perimenopause and then menopause, somehow has the effect of concentrating the fat in the belly area. And this is not something that science is actually able to explain. All we know is that it happens. So frustrating. Number two, the issue is naturally we lose muscle mass as early as our 30s. So by the time we get, let's say 54, which is the average age of a menopausal woman, we have started to lose muscle mass and it's replaced by, you guessed it, fat.
Right.
Muscle is it's the furnace by which we burn calories. So as we have less muscles, we burn less calories. So there's a bit of a double whammy that is happening here.
So Annie, hold on to that thought, because I really want to talk about losing belly fat and everything else going on with menopause. So please Don't go away. We will be right back with more of Annie Gaudreault. Welcome back to Empowered. I'm Elizabeth Naumovski. On today's episode, we discuss miracle drugs, belly weight, and intermittent fasting. So let's go back to that belly fat. How can we lose it? Because it seems to just want to hang in there forever.
It definitely can be stubborn. So first of all, women have to stop thinking that it's their fault. But there are three things that women can do. First of all is rethinking our macronutrients, which means more protein, more vegetables, and less refined carbs, such as all those white things that we love so much, the white breads, the rice, the pastas, because they have no fiber and it increases our blood sugar levels, and that translates into more insulin and more fat. So that's the number one thing. The second thing that women can do is switch their activity to strength training, because as I previously mentioned, your muscle is your burning fat, burning calories central. So we want to be building more muscle so that we definitely are burning more calories each day. Plus, as women, it supports our bone health. So it's a double whammy. And then the last thing is one of those great new things that we are starting to uncover from a scientific standpoint, which is there is something about embracing the cold. Many people may have seen this on social media. All these people that are saying, oh my God, you should be showering in a cold, shower every day, or plunging yourself into an ice bath. There is some truth to this in terms of burning fat. What happens is that we are all born with a certain quantity of something called brown fat, Liz. Mm-hmm. And that brown fat is stimulated by cold, like really cold. And that brown fat, when it's ignited like that, actually tells the white fat, which is in the menopause belly, to burn and to be reduced. So we want to stimulate the brown fat by embracing the cold.
All right, so I guess we will be jumping into Lake Ontario with one of those polar bear jumps very soon. Now, let's just keep on going. Menopause, hormone therapy. I mean, it's been controversial. I've heard, take it, don't take it. There's so much back and forth with it. Should women now embrace it?
Absolutely. This is a green light. It is not just a simple supplement, however. So we want to make sure that we get the guidance from our doctors. We finally now know, after all these years where there was all these scare, that the risks associated with menopause hormone therapy are there, but much lower than we thought they would be. In fact, the North American Menopause Society, which gives all of the guidelines in the US and Canada, including, tells us that menopause hormone therapy is safe for women over 60 or that have been in menopause for 10 years, if there are no contraindications. Now, we always want to make sure that we discuss this with our doctors, because our own background and our own risk factors need to be discussed in the context of this decision.
So let me just ask you the question then. Talk to your doctor, figure it out with your your doctor. Now, are there any other side effects beyond the hormones themselves?
There's actually positive side effects. For example, it helps women sleep better. And also for those who are suffering from mild depression, which often come at menopause, by the way, it's another of those 34 official symptoms associated with menopause. It actually helps alleviate those symptoms. So it can have, as you can see, much better effect on your quality of life. Now, there are also negative effects, right? And we need to discuss those with our doctors, because some of the risk associated with blood clots, heart issues, vascular issues, amongst others, need to be very much taken seriously.
Yeah, I mean, it's very important, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel, which is really good to hear. We have about 30 seconds before we go to break, but when we do come back, I want to talk about all the stress that everyone's going through out there. There's so much food insecurity, insecurity about the economy, the environment. I want to talk about how all of this insecurity, anxiety, unknown, interest rates going up, interest rates coming down, everything happening. I want to talk to you about the impact that it has on women's health and how much stress it's actually adding to our bodies. So please don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Empowered. I'm Elizabeth Naumovski. Today's episode, we discuss miracle drugs, belly weight, intermittent fasting. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we're talking about. But before we went to break, we were talking about the stress out there, food insecurity, insecurity about the economy, environment. And I want to know, how does this impact women's health and what can we do about it?
Liz, this is such a great question because it is a huge element to our total health. So as we are experiencing stress, the body secretes a hormone called cortisol. And this hormone is meant to only be helping us once in a while in our life, not on an ongoing basis. When we have this influx of cortisol constantly flowing through us, it causes massive amount of what we call inflammation. It will damage every tissue that we have. It will create brain damage over time. Of course, this is what I'm talking about here. So managing cortisol is really important by managing our stress and what I call daily and weekly small self-care management actions.
Okay, so what are those weekly self-care actions?
Spending time in nature, walking, having a very good, secure network of friends and girlfriends, for example. Being active, very, very important. Prioritizing sleep will also build resilience as well.
Mm-hmm. So, let's continue on with the whole, food insecurity. Food budgets, food has gone up crazy. Food budgets are being squeezed. What are some good, healthy strategies that people can take when they go to the grocery store?
First of all, I think that I'm not the only one who saw cauliflower at I think $7.99.
Oh, wow.
It is absolutely crazy out there. And we know that we want our vegetables. We know we want to, increase our fiber as women. And one of the best ways to do that is to embrace frozen vegetables, frozen fruit. No waste, same nutritional value, or sometimes better. And you simply portion control so well. So it's a great option and you will definitely maximize the budget there. The other place, often we say that the middle of the store should be avoided. Nonsense. There are some great things that we can take advantage of in the middle of the store. One of those is actually looking at plant-based protein. As we all see, animal, chicken and beef, the price of meat has really gone up significantly. So a great way to do well for your health as well as your wallet is to be exploring legumes, fermented soy of all kinds, which are actually also good for people. And then the third one is to embrace canned fish. There is so many more options today than there ever used to be, between salmon and tuna, but also filleted sardines and filleted mackerels, all perfectly convenient, portion controlled, and very well priced.
So the frozen fruit, I eat frozen fruit all the time. I eat it at my desk at work, frozen in a bowl. And to me, that's just a given because it's been a part of my life for a really long time. But I want to talk about expensive items. And one of them is supplements. And supplements are expensive unless you get them when they're, buy one, get one 50% off, buy one, get one free. Do you believe that people should take supplements?
I don't think there's a more controversial topic than supplements in the scientific world. I personally definitely am in favor of supplements with the caveat that they need to be professional grade. Not all brands are equal in terms of quality. Supplements also should be noted that it is a category of products that is not regulated by the government. So there's been famous documentaries that showed how what was on the label was not truly in the bottle. So that's why I always say, choose professional grade. So 3 that I recommend for, particularly for women, one is a good quality multi. 50 plus formula that is you. Calcium with vitamin D is the second thing that is necessary because of bone and because of link with vitamin D and Alzheimer's. So very important. And the last one, if you do not have a diet that naturally contains a lot of omega-3 type fats, just as the cold water fish, walnuts, flax seeds, etc., an omega-3 supplement is absolutely required because of its link to cognitive health.
Don't go away. We will be right back with more of whether there's a perfect diet or not. Welcome back to Empowered. I'm Elizabeth Naumovski. On today's episode, we discuss miracle drugs, belly weight, and intermittent fasting. I'm joined by Annie Gaudreault, founder of VEEV Health and Wellness, nutritionist, and women's health coach. Annie, let's talk about probiotics. Are they good, bad?
Well, they're a maybe.
Oh,
this is really a case where we want to focus on food first, because we know that it's the foods that are fermented, natural probiotic foods, that have the greatest effect on health. Now, there are some circumstances where probiotics are really helpful, such as if you've been sick and we know that your immune system has been depleted. We want to build back that immunity by strengthening the gut, because most of your immune system is actually located in the gut. The second area of potential benefit would be if you have been on antibiotics, or a lot of prescription drugs actually destroy the gut, the microbiome, what we call your environmental, all of the good bacteria that is in your gut. And we want to have a good course of probiotic in those cases. And the third instance where I highly recommend probiotics is when you're traveling, because you're going to experiencing stress, which destroys the gut, by the way. And also you'll be exposed to new bacteria, new foods. So there are some specific travel type that will support you. So probiotics, I favor food first, unless these scenarios.
okay, so let's talk about food, because everyone is on a diet because they have a wedding to go to, they have a party to go to, they're going on a beach, they're whatever it is. Is there something called the perfect diet?
Oh, wouldn't that be wonderful? I like to say that the best diet is the one that is sustainable for you. And that usually means, something that you can really stick to that will make you healthy. The Mediterranean diet is the one that we know, the real traditional Mediterranean diet, which is mostly plant-based, some fish, nuts, seeds, not a lot of grains, very few dairy, little alcohol. That's basically what I'm talking about here, is the one that is going to be excellent from overall health standpoint and great for managing your blood sugar levels, therefore not accumulating weight. But there is no such thing as one size fits all in health. All of us are different, right? You and I are from different cultures, different backgrounds. Therefore, what will work perfectly for you is probably going to be a little bit different for me.
Okay, so I want to talk about intermittent fasting. There's so many people that say, I don't eat for 16 hours, I don't eat for 12 hours. Should we all be intermittent fasting, or is this just another fad?
Well, it is not another fad, because fasting has been around for centuries, and it is in every religious textbook on this earth. So fasting has a lot of benefit, certainly for healthy aging. It has a lot of benefits for digestion. Fasting is excellent to really better most of our systems. Now, is it a tool for weight loss? It can be. It can be very effective for some people. But I will tell you that research shows that for menopausal women that are adopting intermittent fasting in a too aggressive manner, it actually backfires. And what the result is that these women experience more cortisol. And as you heard before, it's the anti-weight loss hormone.
Right.
So we end up putting on more weight.
Annie,
So
thank you so much for all of your words of wisdom. I know that you will help a lot of women out there.
thank you, Liz.
Annie recently asked the question, do you settle? And then she said, and I quote, settling is a soul-sucking behavior. When you settle, you fall into the prey of otherness, and nothing can be more unfulfilling than trying to fit into someone else's life. So ladies, get yourselves a health and life goal. If you need help to achieve your goal, go and get it. Start living your best life for you and stop settling regardless of your age. I'm Elizabeth Naumovski, and I'm here to empower you and make frugality fashionable. Bye for now.